Hello and welcome to the world premiere of the new 911 GT3. Here you can find all the vehicles that we exhibit in the museum from time to time, and we are surrounded by a lot of history. The GT3 turned 25 this year. In 1999, this car was presented at the Geneva Motor Show, and a legend was born, a race-ready driving machine in the 911 portfolio. Walter Rural drove it around the Nordschleife in just under 8 minutes. The vehicle is not just a race-ready driving machine, but it also has street approval. This was actually the birth of the GT3, specifically the second generation 996. This vehicle is even more differentiated from the Carrera, featuring an engine that produces 21 horsepower more and can rev up to 8,200 revolutions per minute instead of 7,600 revolutions per minute. With the 997 model that we see here, the GT3 became a permanent fixture in the 911 model range, boasting 415 horsepower and an increased rev limit of 8,400 revolutions per minute in the second generation vehicle that we see here at 3.8 liter. You could see racing technology wherever you looked, offered with its own brakes, and for the first time, a lift system for customers, which allowed the car to be lowered further for improved aerodynamics. Being able to achieve even faster speeds required the use of technology. The 991 platform provided us with an abundance of options. This vehicle was developed with a 3.8-liter direct injection engine, a completely new engine revving to 9,000 revolutions per minute and producing 475 horsepower, coupled with an ultra-fast shifting PDK transmission specially tuned for the GT3. With the second generation 991 that we see here, the manual transmission made a return, and there was also a touring version available for the first time, a GT3 version without a rear wing for the driver. This brings us to the current generation, the 992. The GT3 in the 992 version represents another quantum leap in technology. Double wishbone front axle, aerodynamics borrowed directly from racing cars, clearly visible in the wing neck suspension, and a chassis that has been made even lighter. This vehicle is also available as a touring version and has become the most successful 911 GT3 of all time. Now that we've explored the history, let's look forward to the future. It was not easy for us to make an already near-perfect car even better, which is why we engaged in extensive discussions with our customers. The result is the new 911 GT3.
911 GT3.
The heart of the GT3 remains as it should be, a high-revving 4-liter naturally aspirated engine with 9,000 revolutions per minute and 510 horsepower. This time it is coupled with a gearbox featuring an 8% shorter gear ratio, similar to the special model 911 GT3 RS. An 8% shorter gear ratio means enhanced pulling power in every situation. But that's not all. The whole car feels a bit tighter in terms of styling compared to its predecessor, with mechanical revisions, particularly in non-visible areas related to the gearbox and driveshaft cooling, as well as brake cooling. Here we see the car presented in an options package known as the Weissach package, which is familiar from RS models and now available for the first time in the standard 911 GT3. It features numerous carbon elements, including air blades at the front, mirrors, and side blades of the rear wing, all the way to the interior, along with magnesium wheels. These wheels alone are 9 kilograms lighter than the original aluminum rims. So now we know what it looks like and what it's made of, but the most important aspect is how it feels. The sound and driving pleasure are fantastic. It's unbelievable how precisely the car performs. The 8% shorter gear ratio is especially beneficial on narrow and winding roads, providing an even better rev range and improved damper platform with CBS. The car absorbs impacts perfectly, taking a significant step forward. Even with the stock setup, you hardly notice any pitching. It truly feels right at home.
Man merkt kaum noch Nickbewegung. Das ist wirklich großes Kino.
This might also be partly because of the racing-like atmosphere it creates for the driver. We've introduced a new full bucket seat, which boasts several benefits and features I'd like to highlight quickly. Whenever I'm on the racetrack, like Jörg is right now, I wear a helmet for safety and regulatory reasons. The ergonomics have been improved to create more headroom. The headrest can be unlatched to provide additional space, ensuring a more upright head position with the helmet. Furthermore, the seat can be folded down by pulling a loop. The backrest can be unlocked and folded forward, significantly improving loading access, an obvious advantage over a fixed shell. Inside, we see elements that the Weissach package includes: race text on the dashboard, a carbon door handle, and a lightweight door panel with a luggage net. What a car! But we're not finished yet. For the first time in the 25-year history of the 911 GT3, we're presenting two variants of the GT3 at the same time. Let's set the stopwatch aside for a moment and turn to winding country roads, catering to customers who enjoy leisurely Sunday drives just for fun. For them, the GT3 with the touring package is exactly the right choice. And here's the new 911 GT3 with the touring package. The sports car in pinstripes is a bit more understated than its winged brother, suitable for the racetrack but still a driver's car. In terms of drivetrain, it offers 510 brake horsepower and 9,000 revolutions per minute, with this specific touring model featuring a 6-speed manual gearbox as standard and optionally available with a PDK gearbox. We asked a number of customers, and one topic in particular came up again and again. Please give us 4 seats in the touring. We have a rear seat system available as an option. If you want the car to be a bit sportier or more purist, you can opt for a lightweight package, which is very similar to the Weissach package. This package includes magnesium wheels, which considerably reduce the weight, as well as other features for the car. We use leather, partially embossed leather on the dashboard, and we incorporate textile inserts as the seat center surfaces. The new 911 GT3 with the touring package is the perfect newcomer for me, for the country road. And I don't think it's just for me. I think Walter feels the same. My job is always to check the performance of the car in principle. I have to drive fast, and I have to ensure that the car is still reasonably easy to control at the limit. That is the decisive factor for me. The new steering is precise. It is as direct as the old one, but less nervous from zero. On the one hand, the seat is very important, as it must hold my body in place so that my hands are free to steer. To transplant these genes of a racing car into a serene vehicle, as you would expect from Porsche, is key. Despite all the regulations that exist, we still achieve a very emotional sound that simply gives me motivation. The feeling that I am sitting in a racing car. Of course, I feel excitement as I see the revs and hear the sound. It reminds me of my active time in racing, driving a sports car, alongside a completely normal old taxi car. Only Porsche can handle this dichotomy, and they have done it incredibly well with the touring. Dear sports car fans, this is a very special moment for me too. The simultaneous world premiere of 2 GT3 models. One is more for the racetrack, while the other is more for the road, but both offer an exceptionally unique and typical GT3 driving experience. Both are even more emotional, more individual, and tailored precisely to the wishes of our customers. For further information, please visit Porsche.com or the Porsche Newsroom. Thank you for your attention, and I bid you farewell. Many thanks, and goodbye.